I You have yours muted, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Option.
Sorry, okay. I think Leila can hear us now. We're going to move on to upper cabinet. What fun or enjoyable thing you did over winter break, President Bennett?
I started learning Italian.
Learning Italian.
Oh.
Very nice, very nice. Vice President Struck.
I did a lot of fun stuff over break, but I think I enjoyed and got the most out of the legislative Board of Regents breakfast down in Des Moines, and then the night before I got to go see Governor Reynolds do her address to the state situation. That was cool to see in person, so yeah.
Director of Public Relations, Rose.
Yeah, so I had my birthday and did go to see the Spider-Man movie. So
The Spider-Man movie was absolutely amazing. I give you very much credit. Our Chief Justice, Mark Daniels.
I really didn't do a whole lot. I just chilled with my family, spent a lot of quality time with them. That was it.
All right, and I'm going to do Layla real quick, Director of Diversity.
Yeah, so my brother got married, so I got to go to a wedding, and I got a sister-in-law.
That's weird. Okay, that was a test as well. Did anyone?
You were replying to her.
Here's my question. Barely.
I heard some of the records.
I'm sorry, Layla, this is the first time we're also using the speaker system, so that was just a test. I could hear you because I'm standing right next.
Does it work, or do I need to like talk louder?
Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry, everybody. I thought I had everything figured out at the beginning and everything's kind of shady, and now it's just they throw a whole system at me and I can't figure it out. When she asked me, how can I make it so already my friends can see my Facebook?
There, turn it on.
Okay, Leila, try talking.
Hello.
There we go.
Much better. Okay, there we go. All right, if you just repeat what you told us.
Oh, yeah. So, oh my God, I can hear myself. I went to Texas because my brother got married and I got a sister-in-law.
And then our NIHD advisor, Mike.
Well, I think I can top Maui. We took our niece to sing too.
Oh.
Jokes, by the way. Jokes. Top it?
yeah, I'd say so.
All right, well, thank you everybody so much. And with that, we'll now move on to the identification of the press. And I do not see Nick here. That's
Graduated.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Outside of you, I did not
With that, we will move on to student forum and announcements, and there is one student forum announcement.
Hello, it's me again. I'm here to talk to you about menstrual products, Blue. So if you could fill out this survey, I would love you forever because we're trying to lobby the university to give us funding to keep this initiative going for years to come. Even if you don't menstruate, just say, I support this, and then submit. And yes, thank you. We just need a lot of people to fill this out so that way we can give the university concrete data into why they need to fund this initiative. So,
And if you don't have the time now, it is in the folder. Everyone should have access to it. But I will leave it up for some because everyone's Very good. We like the feedback. All right, I'm going to move. Okay, I'm going to take it down now. It is in the folder that I shared with everyone, so everyone will have access.
Also, tomorrow, I will be in the NISG offices, maybe around 3 o'clock, and I really need help distributing products because all the baskets are empty. So if you're free, come up to NISG offices and help me out because I don't want to walk all the way across campus. I'm cold by myself.
All right, thank you, Senator Christensen. With that, are there any other motions to be recognized for student forum and announcements? I'm going one more time. And if not, we'll move over to call for changes to the order of the day. Are there any motions or calls for changes to the order of the day? Going one more time. And with that, we'll move on to the approval of last meeting's minutes, our 15th regular Senate meeting before the winter break. brought to you by our lovely Deputy Director, Caroline Christensen. Is there a motion for approval?
Motion to approve.
And a second?
I second.
All right, lovely. And with that, we move on to our special business, of which there is none. And with that, we'll move on to our guest reports, beginning with the NISG advisor, Mike Fowler.
Well, happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back. Super excited to have everyone finally on campus. It was a very quiet campus for a number of weeks. I will keep it fairly short, but I do want to acknowledge a project that did happen over winter break. And this was a great partnership between our department, the IT department, and the Vice President for Finance and Operation. Obviously, COVID has changed a lot of the way that we do things. And what we as a campus are looking at is how we continue to move forward and continue to be able to provide those services. One of the first projects that was happening on campus is the investment in technology resources right here in Maucker Union. All of the meeting rooms on this wing right here, as well as the Plaza Conference Room, which is right outside of the student government office, are now equipped with two things that are really important for, I think, for student organizations and students in general. The first is that all of them have built-in cases that have computers. The great thing is they're now available free for use for groups. So I think I can have some testaments. Any testaments here of anyone who's used one yet? Oh my goodness, way more than I thought. How did it work for everybody? Great, good. So the nice thing is you don't have to go get projector kits anymore. You may not even have to bring your laptop. Everything is here for you to use. We hope that that will help groups in coming and utilizing resources, not thinking, oh, I have to pay or I have to get this. So if you know anyone within IT or you know the Senior Vice President of Finance and Operations, tell them thank you. This is a great service that we provide to students. The second piece that ties into it is that all of these all of these meeting rooms are also equipped with video conferencing equipment. We're using it tonight. Rose and Sam spent about an hour the other day working out some kinks, and that's what we were just working on here too. But instead of doing that little owl camera that kind of did a spy over of the Senate chambers here, we're now using this technology to be able to do that. So within your groups, I know who has used the video conferencing. Okay, you used it. It's super easy. All it does is you just open up your student application. So if you have committee meetings for student government and you have some people that still need to be remote, all of these rooms are equipped for it. You just log in like you normally use Zoom, and the camera has a little remote. Rose has it over there that you can do some zooming in and moving around. It's
Okay, that's sick.
fairly easy to use. Would you say, Rose? So thank you to them. The next thing, I think you're going to hear this at least one other time too, but there is a great opportunity through a partnership with Iowa State, and you and I to provide a great one-day leadership retreat for students. It is called the Alice Burns Iowa State Leadership Experience, and this year it will be on the campus of Iowa State University, February 12th. We are going to be taking a charter bus of students from you and I to participate in it. There's no cost to you. You just have to register and be ready to fill your belly with leadership for the day. Lunches will be provided, transportation provided. This is a great opportunity for all of you to see leadership on another campus, to be able to network and ask questions of what's happening there. So it is open to all student leaders, but I would love to see as many participants from student government there as possible. You probably hear this a couple times, but I've sent it out on the Senate listserv. So if you're interested in participating on it, I would go to that and register ASAP. We have seats still available, but if it's something that you're thinking, oh, I would like to have an opportunity to do that, sign up sooner than later. Finally, it is not on my report, but I forgot about it as I was walking out today. We are in the final stage of hiring the associate director for student involvement. Many of you that may have been around last year, Stephanie Schmidt left the university, and we have had that in a vacant position here for this past semester. We're to the point where we will be doing on-campus interviews And those will begin on Friday, February 4th, and Monday, February 7th. What I would ask is, what we're going to do is we're going to have a very informal student session that will be over the lunch hour, and lunch will be provided. This is an opportunity, just as students, to be able to share it. So the candidates might be able to ask you some questions about, you know, what do you like about you and I? What do you think are some of the challenges? Whatever questions they may ask. But it's also a great opportunity to ask, for you to ask them, you know, what do you think are the skill sets that you would bring to the university? We're going to have 2 candidates that will be here. So I'm looking for a few people from student government to be willing to participate in those. They are at 12 noon, and lunch will see.
I would like to.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to turn around a sign up.
So if you are interested in doing that, if you want to just write down your name, and then I'll be communicating with you on the logistics as far as what time I want you to come, and where we'll be doing lunch. Okay, this is a great opportunity to be able to see some of the hopeful staff that we will bring on to into our department. So, any questions? Great. Can you ever say what day it is?
Yes, Monday, oh, sorry, Friday, February 4th, and Monday, February 7th. Great, thanks everyone.
Thank you so much, Mike, the Northern Iowa Student Government Advisor. And with that, we will move on to the presidential report given by President Samantha Bennett.
Here. All right. Well, hello, everybody. It's so nice to see you all again. I missed you on the break, and I hope you guys have a fantastic break. It sounds like you all did. I have been working on some things. I was somewhat busy over the break with some of these items, especially since it's now budget season. So I was working on mainly a lot of student fees proposals, since those are due over break. The first being gender violence prevention. This one I already presented on to student fees with Isabella and Lee from the Office of Compliance and Equity Management. So this is going to support 2 GAs and OCAP and the work that they do with the Green Dot program. We'll roll that we're going out soon that you heard about last semester, and also that No More Gender Violence Prevention survey. So that already happened. Upcoming next Wednesday, I'm going to present for the other 2 items that I'm bringing for those student fees, and the first is mental health support. So this is funding to support 2 mental health GAs in the counseling center, a multicultural mental health GA and an outreach GA. So this is actually a line item that Ellie Bodie created last year. However, it only secured funding for the 1 multicultural mental health GA that we currently have. Mimi, she's doing a fantastic job in her role. She takes part in that Let's Talk initiative on campus, and we've seen posters for that. So I talked to her a bit today to prepare for a presentation next week. She also gave me some ideas for potential mental health related issues moving forward, like trying to get mental health absences considered to be excused absences for students, which is something that I will be looking into in the upcoming days as well. The other one is this item that I've been working all year on, and it has taken so many different forms and had so many evolutions over the winter break, because that's when I had a whole lot of meetings with leaders in athletics and in the counseling center, talking a lot with Jennifer Schneider and Christine Royal. So this is based on my work in that area over the past year, so finding more ways to get mental health resources for our athletes, just because, oh boy, they have a lot of stress and pressure that they're under. I also during that time had a Zoom call with Christine Royal and ISU sports psychologist, because they do have designated resources already for their athletics department. So talking to them about what's kind of worked on their campus, seeing what we can implement here, obviously. we're a bit smaller in scale than ISU, so resource wise, we obviously can't do exactly what I have. But we need a lot of helpful information there. And through all of these conversations and talking about what's feasible within our budget constraints, while still meeting the needs of our athletes in, the way that we like. What I ended up coming up with and what I will be presenting to student fees is funding for a contracted temp employee. So this would be a mental health practitioner from the Cedar Valley who would provide 8 hours of service 1 day a week out of athletics facilities. So they would be the equivalent to one of like the counselors in the counseling center as far as what services they could offer, as opposed to GA mental health positions. They are not qualified to do like crisis services like the full blown counseling session that our counselors are. So this would actually be for the same price as like a full-time GA for a whole year. We can do a contracted employee, especially being able to be housed directly in athletics facilities is something that athletics really wants with the mental health resource they hope to get down the road when our budget situation isn't so tight and unfavorable for adding a new full-time resource. So they're hoping in the meantime, a resource like this is going to really help get them through that stretch and have something for their athletes. So of course, a disclaimer, funding of these items isn't guaranteed. It is up to the board members of the student fees committee to decide how funds get allocated. But I'd like to say I'm optimistic, and I can guarantee you all that I've done the best work I can in these presentations. Since trying to get these resources for our campus and for our students is something I'm incredibly passionate about. In other news, the Panther podcast. It was today online. Just curious, can y'all like raise your hands if you've ever listened to any episodes of the Panther Pod?
You guys, I'm so funny. What are you guys doing? I see you guys over there on that side of the table.
Do y'all have Spotify on music accounts? Because I mean, it is available on there. So I'm just saying.
It's also if you go on to the NSG website, you can listen to it directly on there too.
That is so cool. It literally could not be more convenient to listen to these episodes. Wow. Anyways, I don't want to like brag, but like we did have Narnia on episode 4, and it was a pretty good episode in my opinion. So I at least listened to that one. I have not uploaded today's episode yet because I got busy because I have to take business courses now. That's so much textbook reading. How do you guys do that? Do you have any like suggestions for how to cope with textbook notes?
They don't.
Don't beat it.
I do not understand how Derek has 3 business majors.
No.
2 classes.
That doesn't-
Not for me.
Yeah, mad respect for y'all. Anyways, another thing that I do is the COVID-19 response team, as y'all know. Once again, just like that general disclaimer that I told y'all a bunch, UNI is limited in what response we're able to have. So as you probably know, on campus, not a whole lot has changed, even if we have new variant, new perspective, all that sorts of things. The most we can kind of really do is just continue our messaging surrounding masks, vaccines, booster clinics, etc., which hopefully you guys all have been reading. In your email inbox, the committee did ask for my perspective on student attitudes just towards the pandemic and how they feel about things. And I try to keep it real with them. I told them that students are really tired. It's really hard to be told to be diligent and sacrifice socialization and leisure while simultaneously being asked to act like the pandemic is over when it comes to work and school. So anyways, booster clinics, get vaccinated, those sorts of things if you're sick, stay home. The messaging you guys have been hearing for a while now. Anyways, office hours this semester will be appointment only. But please do reach out if you want to even just get a free coffee, coffee. And if you want to chat about anything, initiatives, if you want to help explain to me what predators are. so lost, man, but it's fine. The Iowa Leadership Conference that Mike talked to y'all a bit about. Whoa, no way, I'll be a panelist there, that's so crazy. So yeah, I will be going. So, I mean, if that doesn't convince you, I don't know what else. Also, just wanna say, Allison and I attended this last year, and I'm not saying it's responsible for the leadership positions we got shortly afterwards, but I'm not saying that. So, yeah, I mean, I would sign up if I were you, this should be a fun time, watch us provide it, talk to people. Elections. I know somebody kind of knows what it's like to be, you know, president, so if you're interested in being president, or if you know anybody who is, you can talk to them about it. And finally, my kudos, my first one was Allison, for preparing every single capital, and ask for this person, thank you so much. And Derek, for being more than willing to answer all my questions about the student fees process and help me navigate that stuff. I got tricky, a lot of phone calls and really great. My parting words, you and I overlap in more categories than your main center. A mirror is called every time you face another human. Push back against the tension treated in marginalization. And with that, I will leave you. It's nice to see you all again.
President Bennett, and I'm sorry, who's saying? Okay, with that, we will now move on to the Vice President's reports given by Vice President Schrock.
Hi folks, welcome back from how's everyone's classes first week, good, bad, good. Okay, I'm seeing some babies. Yeah, mine was good, other than the fact that it's, sorry, I'm sorry, I have all that. It's so cold. Sorry, I figured you could probably take dropping F-bombs on the first recorded live stream thing. But yeah, I had that recent legislative breakfast, it was really great, got to talk to my boy Dennis Bush, who is my representative, he's great, I just called him today. So I'm getting back into like, we have a formalized conversation, but yeah, I got to talk to him, meet the new Iowa University president, she was really great, and just, you know, it's all a lot of people, that we come see at UNI are like the day boys and Maucker in the world. So that was good. I got to see Governor Reynolds speak. Didn't say anything about higher ed, but didn't say anything bad about higher ed. So that's like a good thumbs up for us. The clothing closet initiative. Have you all seen the JCPenney suit up event stuff? Yes, good. So I worked with, I brought it up to Daisy Grady at like September-ish. And we've been working on that like within NASG for about a year. I was hoping it would have been a little bit more under NASG's kind of like jurisdiction, because it was kind of like a student idea, but I am glad it's happening. I know I have bought some stuff already from it. So if you guys need professional clothing, even down to your socks, for sure go check that out. They have a link on the Presidency with their clothing stuff. So definitely go do that. I don't need more clothes, but I'm gonna go look because I like discounts. And they are, to use them, stack them on clearance. How much did you get? You told me like.
So it does not apply to clearance items.
Okay.
Plus sales and everything else. And I got mine shipped to Minnesota, so no tax on them. I saved over $500. Yes. It was 100, yeah, I know. It was 100 through this program, so it's highly worth it if you're looking at getting clothes. It's highly worth it.
Okay.
Bro, what's the flash sale right now that NC2 and packages?
Yes, so definitely do that. I am gonna have some conversation about with Dave Grady about like when we bring ideas that concern NASG, that NASG like people do, please keep them within NASG jurisdiction and stuff. But I am really glad, I'm still also looking at like more possibilities to have like an on-campus clothing closet. Because I've seen some of those really successful too. And like they allow me to like textile apparel students to go like upcycle clothes, cool clothes and stuff, or if like professors, as long as they're not like super 80s, like huge like sport coats with elbow patches. Like if they have stuff they want to donate to, like making that be a thing too later on, but we'll see that as we move forward. Not too many updates on my committees. The only thing I wanted to let you all know about was strategic planning and the vice president of student life and student affairs is what it currently is titled. That search is first round of interviews on Friday and Monday or Tuesday next week. So those will be happening. We have a lot of great candidates and can't talk about them obviously, but as soon as I'm able to, I'll let you all know. And the strategic planning, those meetings are always really long and a lot of it is like wordsmithing stuff that's gonna go on the website. I did tell them though, which I'm sure all, I'm hoping all of you could agree that like, I didn't come to UNI because of their future vision or their mission statement. Right? I'm guessing you all did not come to UNI for that, you came to like, for other reasons, that are not just their mission statement. So it did tell that to their faces and say, you know, very important, but I don't know if it's like the end all be all of what we're doing here on campus. But they respond well to it, you know, academia is like a big hype, I don't know, whatever. Moving on, those are the two big things that I have this week. Elections. I've ran to be a senator as well, so if you have any questions about running for that, I'm happy to answer as well as like VP president candidacy. So yeah, and if you have any friends, I will follow and tell them to run. I wish Turner was here because I remember when I did it for him too, but that's okay. UNI Capital Day, we still have a bunch of seats available. I would encourage you all to go because it's a really great opportunity. Mason, you went to Capitol today, right?
Yes.
It was good. I heard from Zach. Yes. Okay, good. It is like a way even more chill than what you did today. You kind of just like you go with younger representatives, but we also have a lot more students that go. And usually like there's like music playing in the rotunda, like live beautiful music. So it's also just a really good day to go and get one to Cedar Falls for a day. You know, good time. But it's also just good to show off how great UNI is at that day. Okay, so this next one, my mom, she's so sweet. She really wants, so my freshman year, I'm gonna like kind of backtrack and give you all some context. My mom loves on Valentine's Day to send me cookies from the summer. She's a super sweet lady. And so she really wants to send NISG Senate and like our meeting some cookies. So if you have any dietary restrictions, please let me know. There are going to be a donation from Dr. Struck. She is really great. So if you have any dietary restrictions, let me know and I will make sure to accommodate to those, or Dr. will, and I'll be bringing cookies like either that week before or week after Valentine's Day. Yeah. That was great. She said sometime, so I live in Cherokee, which is about 3 hours, but she said sometimes she really is, like on my last day of Senate or something, she's gonna come and sit in the peanut gallery. Just her. She's the funniest lady. Good pod, go listen to it. I do think I'm pretty funny, but maybe that's not the case. But yeah, we had Parker on about a month and a half or 2 months ago. Rep Sam on next week. Sam and I are going to be talking about, if you remember last year, we kind of had the campaign from hell. We're going to be doing a story time on that. But yeah, we're going to try and get some more cabinet members, and hopefully in this next year they'll be able to get some more senators on there as well. But yeah, I really like the thought. I thought it was a good idea of mine, but we'll see how these numbers do. Feedback. Feel free to reach out to me. My office hours are kind of janky on here, but it's because I don't have classes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday for whatever reason. So Wednesday is my day that I'm in the office for like 12 hours straight. So you guys will usually catch me either in there or in the day, but in between I'll be in my office on Wednesdays from noon to after this. And then if you do have anything that you want to, that maybe Wednesday doesn't work for you, Mondays, well, maybe not Fridays, but Mondays work really great for that. And Tuesday, Thursday, when I'm not in classes. So yeah. Questions, comments, concerns? fill out that even I did, that role, all of y'all. I'd love to see you all there.
With that, we will now move on to the report of the judicial given by Chief Justice Parker Daniels.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a first good week back. I saw some shaking hands in classes. I feel that. I'm honestly sick of the cold already. So election season is here. We are in full swing. Campaigning, formal campaign is going to start February 7th. I just wanted to ask you all, did you all get an email late Friday afternoon about student government elections, kind of like detailing all that? Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. I had some trouble getting that out originally. I just want to make sure that everybody got it. It's a unique sheet. So I have been holding election information meetings for those who are interested in running. I have held the first two, just got done earlier today holding it. The last one is going to be in the open room here in Maucker from about 11 to 2. For those of you who are interested in running, you have to attend one of these meetings to be able to run. And if you aren't able to make it within the meantime, I am more than willing to meet with anybody at any time or any format to get you the information and the assistance you need if you're interested in running. So please feel free to contact me. Additionally, my office hours are by my phone, but honestly, just pop in. I'll be there. That or shoot me an email and we can figure it out time. So additionally, I'm meeting with the election commission, gearing up to meet with them next week, and then working prepared for the debates and some taking spots. Just a quick tidbit on the debates. I'm going to be trying to get a form out that will allow people to submit questions. I think we'll try and put it on the NSU website as well as social media, but allow you all and the student body to submit questions for the debates. And then quarterly, I don't know, I honestly was kind of feeling Danny Vito. I saw this quote which really resonated with me because, you know, honestly, being 22 years old, it feels like life has really flown by. Like I'm old, you guys are babies. So I decided that, pop in this quote here. I don't look ahead, I'm right here with you. It's good way to be. So it's just a good way to kind of just live in the moment and enjoy what you have with what you have for now. So that's all I have for you guys.
Chief Justice Daniels, and with that, we're going to move on to the Director of Finance report, which will be given by me. No bills to vote on tonight, budgetary update to come next week. Thank you, Derek. Always appreciate that. Moving on, I do not have a Director of Governmental Relations report, but they went to the Capitol today, obviously, as Vice President Struck said, and I am hoping they will, Zach will give us an update about that next week. Moving on to the Director of Public Relations report, given by Rose Person.
All right. Hello, so yeah, my office hours are Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 2 to 4. You can also email me and set up, or look at my calendar and set up, time to meet with me. Yeah, so live streaming is live. Thanks to facilities, we have a way better setup than just the owl that we were thinking we would have. This has been really nice to work with. There's been a few kinks, but I think we've got them pretty much ironed out, which is really good. Yeah, so it's live on Facebook, and then we will be saving it to the NIC YouTube account. There is a link on the NIC website to the YouTube channel. So far, there's no videos on it, but this will be one of the first ones on there. Yes, also, this information form, if you have not filled it out, I do not have your information for the NIC website, make sure to fill this out, because this will help me and other people kind of know who you are, what about you and things you want to do. Hopefully we will have the photos that we took at the end of the semester. By sometime this week, I have emailed Sean and he is working on that. Yes, also NISG merch. I almost have one completed. I hope to have that sent out sometime this week. Using discipline because I've used them personally, and they also have quite a few items that allow you to order individual fees. You don't have to worry about, oh, now 5 people didn't order this, no, I can't get this. Yeah, also we'll have about 3 different design options. That way you can kind of choose what you would have on your item. Yeah, as other people have mentioned, if you are interested in running for a position, yes, make sure to attend one of the mandatory informational sessions with partner. You can also ask me about my position or in Senate, because I used to be a senator. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions or. Yeah.
Director of Public Relations. All right, with that, we will now move on to our Director of Diversity report given by Layla.
Hi, everyone. So I don't have a lot of updates, but I did forget quite a few things to put on the report. So I'll just say those off after I say these ones. For the meetings, the campus relations, we had that. I think it was Monday. I'm probably messing it up. But anyway, DIS, I have that on Friday. And then for CITSJA, I have a conflict with one of my classes to go to those meetings. So I'm trying to kind of figure out what to do with that and communicating with them about that. I met with Gulsum to talk about some events to bring to campus to help kind of inform people and bring people together and have some kind of knowledge-based events on campus that were going to be available for everybody to attend. We just got to kind of figure out the details about it. And then another thing I worked over the break about was I was in communication with the local masjid that was vandalized. I'm not sure if you guys heard about that, but Masjid Al Noor was vandalized again. So I've kind of been trying to work with the imam about that and bring kind of event or series events where I can go speak and help them with stuff like that. So kind of reaching out to the community in that kind of sense to kind of help and work with UNI and stuff like that. But other than those things that I have done coming up, this is the calendar that we have available to all of us. If you have any questions, please ask, or even go on the website yourself and click on the event and you'll get some details. I'm pretty sure there are other few more. I've seen a few flyers around campus, but I haven't been able to get all the details of every single one. So I'm gonna try to see with Chiquita Lovelace if I can kind of get those, because I think some of them are from the CME. So yeah, that is all for me today. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Layla. With that, we'll move on to the reports from the board of directors, of which there are none tonight. So then we move on to the speaker report. My office hours are Mondays, noon to 4, and Wednesdays, noon to 5. Welcome back, happy new year, happy 2022, it's gonna be a better year. I have 3 new senator applications in the works right now. I had an interview with them yesterday, and she will be going up for appointment next week, and then I'm hoping the other 2 will be up for appointment next week as well. I hope those planning to run, as has been reiterated multiple times, if you're planning to run, attend the election meetings hosted by the Chief Justice. Friday in the Oak Room, and what was the time frame again?
11 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
All right, sounds good, 11 o'clock to 2. Moving on to Saturday news, I need a new chairperson for the External Relations Committee because sadly Senator Hackbar has resigned. So anyone in external relations, if you're interested, please let me know. Speaking of external relations members, I have a question for all of you. What does 6 p.m. in the great reading room still work for everyone? Zach has told me yes, so that's a confirmation from everyone that still works. Okay, perfect, that solves that. Moving on, committee chairs, please make sure you are creating agendas and minutes for your meetings. I need these for archive reasons more specifically, but also just transparency. And so I can't attend every single committee meeting, so I would like to know what is going on in the committees, keep track of things, and that's what these agendas and minutes will help me out with. Moving on, I need me and President Bennett and myself need a representative for the Intercollegiate Academic Fund. So please let me know if you wish to sit on this committee. Definitely, I don't know too much about it, but President Bennett.
Yeah, it's like a super simple committee. Time for it, like max, the meeting will be an hour, it usually isn't, it's just once a month, you get sent some applications for a new request, you look over it, most of the time we approve them. Super simple, so, nothing too stressful.
Yes, so please let myself or President Bennett know if you would like to sit on that committee. I forgot to put this on here, but I'm going to start doing Senate one-on-ones as well coming up here soon. So I'm just going to go down the list if I haven't done it yet and contact you. My kudos goes to Chief Justice Daniels for taking care of our election things, but do it without the judicial branch, of course. With that, we'll move on to reports of the Senate, of which there is none. Please let me know if you would like to give a report. And with that, we'll move on to the reports of the standing committees, beginning with organization and finance.
So this week we looked over a club application to be registered, but they were not meeting all the criteria, so we were gonna get that through. And because they didn't have enough members. And then also we are going to start the budgetary process soon. So gonna get a little busy. So yeah, that's all I have.
All right, and moving on, external relations, we will be meeting on Tuesday at 6 p.m. in the Great Reading Room then next week. Campus relations.
Yes, so this past Monday we had met. I'm very excited for this idea, but we are gonna start doing like a positive highlight towards like the campus community. We are hoping that the current members of campus relations will come to the next meeting with nominations of either student orgs or people on the campus community that you think have done a positive change or like a positive impact on the community. And even if you're not a member of campus relations, you are more than welcome to bring your own nominations. We are willing to look over that. And hopefully we will be doing that over a resolution and it'll be coming to the Senate floor and the Senate will be voting on it as well. So that's something that I'm looking forward to in the next coming up weeks.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you very much. Moving on to governance and legislative affairs.
Okay, so we had a meeting like an hour ago. It went good. We went over a few bills and passed them to come to you in the next couple weeks. We have a couple coming up tonight and I think that's all.
All right, thank you very much. With the reports of the standing committees over, we now move on to the non-controversial docket, of which there is nothing. And with that, we'll now move on to our controversial docket, beginning with SSB 2022-41. And will the chair grant me permission just to introduce these? All right, so beginning SSB 2022-41, this is amendment to the Northern Iowa Student Government Constitution. So this is, it begins with, instead of saying executive branch, including president, VP, executive cabinet, board of directors, it will now say upper cabinet, including the president and vice president, because the bi-weekly meeting is of the upper cabinet and it does not include the board of directors. And also I'm changing, executive branch means the entirety of the branch. Going on, we eliminated this clause under the president, saying the president shall create a progress report on student government in the fall and spring semesters and deliver it to the student, to the Senate and student body. It will now read, the president shall deliver a state of the student body address, a minimum of at least once during their term, and deliver it to a meeting of the entire Northern Iowa student government. Under clause D, we added, they shall be responsible for Northern Iowa student government officials in the executive branch. We also added, they have the authority through executive order to remove any appointed member of the executive branch with majority approval of the Senate. The president, moving on to vice president, we added under they were responsible for monitoring and securing nominations for university presidential committees, campus committees, and academic committees. They may delegate this duty to other members of the executive branch or the Speaker of the Senate. And that is all. Are there any questions, comments, motions to amend? Going one more time. All right, and if not, I am going to reassign SSB 2022-41 to the Government and Legislative Affairs Committee to prepare for second reading on our Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022 Senate meeting. All right, with that, we are now going to move on to SSB 2022-42. This also amends the Northern Iowa Student Government Constitution, it eliminates executive cabinet and replaces it with upper cabinet. Under the Director of Finance, instead of reading this officer shall submit a weekly written report to the Senate, it will read the officers required to give a report a minimum of once a month. Similarly, under Director of Governmental Relations, shall submit a weekly written report to the Senate, is required, will now read, is required to give a report a minimum of once a month. Also similarly, under the Director of Public Relations, it will now read, is required to give a report a minimum of once a month. And we also eliminated clause C, which says the Director of Public Relations shall be responsible for the efficiency and upkeep of the executive offices in the student government. And then also similarly under Director of Diversity, it will now read, is required to give a report a minimum of once a month. Are there any questions, comments, concerns, motions to amend? Going one more time. And if not, I then reassign SSB 2022-42 to the Government and Legislative Affairs Committee to prepare for second reading on our Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022 Senate meeting. All right, and then our last piece of legislation for tonight, SSB 2022-43. This also amends the Constitution. It amends, this is going to be quite a bit, I'm sorry. It amends and the impeachment and removal process for the Northern Iowa student government. This was mainly amended and changed because it was very vague and it didn't have very good direction on the processes that would be necessary to do this. So under the impeachment process will be as follows. Under the Senate, the Speaker must bring forth legislation for impeachment. The legislation will now add, the legislation will fall under a student-sponsored bill, SSB, and then the Speaker of the Senate shall preside over the first portion of the impeachment. Upon proposals during the Senate meetings, so upon when the student-sponsored bill is proposed to the Senate, they will then vote on the choice to move into a closed session by a 2/3 vote of the Senate. It will then add a closed session will require non-Northern Iowa student government members to exit the Senate chamber. It will then eliminates, this will be a time for the Senate to hear the argument for the impeachment and discuss. We then add in clause C, which says whether or not the Senate moves into an open or a session or closed session, the Senate will then begin formal debate on the legislation of impeachment following debate procedure outlined in the Northern Iowa student government bylaws. It eliminates bill in clause E. It says if the vote on whether or not to continue the impeachment process passes, the accused shall be notified of their charges and their accusers at least 1 week before the next Senate meeting. We added in clause F, which says the Northern Iowa Student Government Supreme Court Chief Justice shall preside over the second portion of the impeachment. At the next Senate meeting, the accused will have the opportunity to defend themselves to the Senate. It then adds in details on how this is done. The accused defending themselves shall consist of a formal letter with an introduction, the main body of their defense, and a conclusion, which will be read by the accused to the Senate. After the accused reads their formal letter to the Senate shall have the opportunity to question the accused. Under clause H, it adds, after the accused has made their case, the Senate will again debate and then vote on the impeachment bill. 1 week after the impeachment, the Senate will vote to remove the student government member. The vote will have to pass by 2/3 majority. We added the legislation shall consist of a student-sponsored bill. Under eligibility, once a member is removed, they forfeit their student government eligibility unless reinstated by a 2/3 vote of the Senate and approval by the president and vice president. We added the reinstatement legislation shall consist of a student-sponsored bill. All right. Are there any questions, comments, motions to amend? I know that was loud. I recognize Senator Crowell.
I'd like to make a motion to amend.
All right.
I need a second.
Second.
How will the legislation be amended?
What part was it? Give me a sec. I gotta find what part it was. The part about the closed session. To amend it so that it will include the NISG. I probably just figured it out. Can't remember what I was gonna say next. Like, essentially.
So the amendment with the motion to amend with a second is motion to amend, so the bill will read under clause I, we will add a sub clause, I guess I'll call it, that reads, this will include the Northern Iowa Student Government Advisor. Okay, the amendment now moves on to debate or amendments to the amendment. Are there any motions for recognition for debate or amendment to the amendment? Going one more time. And if not, the Senate will then move into a period. I will now do a motion to the previous question, which allows us to move into a roll call vote on the amendment to add a subclause under clause I reading. This will include the Northern Iowa Student Government Advisor. Senator Ferguson, Senator Kretzinger,
Yes.
Senator Sperry abstains with an excused absence. Senator Christensen,
Yes.
Senator Carolus,
Yes.
Senator Miller,
Yes.
Senator Amin,
Yes.
Senator Myers,
Yes.
Senator Tungu,
Yes.
Senator Richards,
Yes.
Senator Duong,
Yes.
Senator Piper,
Yes.
Senator Gibbon abstains, Senator Dodgen,
Yes.
Senator Kosky abstains with an excused absence. All right, I'm not going to tally that. I'm just going to say it passes, so I will add it in right now. All right. Are there any other motions to be recognized for debate, question, or amendment? Going one more time. I recognize Vice President Sharp.
I don't know if anyone can hear me. Can you go back to the bottom about being
To look,
that reinstatement? Is that just for like, that's for anyone who's in an ISG? Or is that just for like if someone's impeached, like if I don't think Sam and I are gonna be impeached anytime soon, but
so if they're impeached, they can be reinstated and the legislation has to be in bill.
but that's just for that year, that term.
That is just for the impeached person. Does that make sense? Does that clarify?
It's just for that term, or like, are they just gone?
Like if they're
If
removed.
you're in, yeah, if you're.
So if you're impeached, the way I would interpret it is that they forfeit their student government eligibility, period.
Like for the rest of their, like, they got impeached in their freshman year, they're done for good.
That's how I would interpret it.
Okay.
Are there any other motions to be recognized for debate, question, or amendment? Going one more time. And with that, I then reassign SSB 2022-43 to the Government and Legislative Affairs Committee for preparation for second reading on our February 2nd, 2022 Senate meeting. And with that, we move on to old business. of which there is none. And with that, I now bring our 16th regular Senate meeting to adjournment. Thank you.